Hey y'all, my name is Taylor. I'm a therapist. I work at HeartSupport and I love metal music. So let's listen to the new Texas in July song, False Divinity, talk about the lyrics and how you can hopefully use them to ignite positive change in your life. I'm so excited about this song. Okay, let's do it. 3, 2, 1. Okay, go on. See when a punch kind of. Ooh, I like this. Yo, slay. That was amazing. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. Okay, woo. So let's talk about these lyrics. Guilt weighing on my conscience. Something that I talk about a lot with my clients is guilt. And I'd like to highlight something that I think a lot of us forget. Guilt is not always a bad thing. Guilt can be a good thing. But when guilt becomes dangerous and really painful is when guilt gets stuck, and that's when it turns into shame. Guilt says, I did something wrong or I did something bad. Shame says, I am something wrong or I am something bad. When we think that we did something wrong, that inspires us often to make a different choice the next time. We're human. We're all going to make mistakes, and it's okay to do something wrong. Sometimes guilt is a motivator for change of like, I don't want to show up this way for myself. I don't want to show up this way for people in my life. So I did this thing wrong last time, but I'm going to try again and do it better next time. Shame is not a motivator. When shame says, I am something wrong, that's actually really demotivating, because what shame says is there is nothing you can do to make this right because you are the wrong thing. And that's not true. So when we start to feel guilt about something, we should ask ourselves, is this guilt or is this shame? Do I feel like I did something wrong and I can make another choice next time, and I can give myself grace for making a mistake because I'm a human and humans make mistakes? Or does this feel like I am something bad? And if it feels like shame, then we really need to start to interrogate it, because it likely comes from a deeper place of pain. And you want to get to know that so that you can fight against it. What is your shame telling you about yourself? And where else have you heard those stories? If there is something that you are feeling shame about right now, I want to know. We want to know at HeartSupport. So comment below by tagging at HeartSupport about what shame stories or shame spirals, where the shame monster is coming into your life. Let us know and we'll reply with encouragement and help to reframe and work through your shame. I think that's just such an important point. And Brené Brown talks a lot about the difference between guilt and shame. And so if you are curious about that, I encourage you to think about her work. But a good test is, does this feel like I did something wrong, or does this feel like I am something wrong? Oh, I love this. I love this one. And I'm really excited to talk about it. Okay. So fade into a place that feeds your emptiness. So often when we are struggling with something, especially depression, we start to fade away. We start to fade away from our good habits. We stop getting up when our alarm goes off. We stop exercising. We stop making ourselves healthy food. We stop going out with friends. And that is us fading away into a place of isolation and into a place of further depression. We fade away into a place that feeds our emptiness. A key symptom of depression is a lack of motivation and a lack of interest or pleasure in doing things. It's called anhedonia. And what that does to us is it actually prevents us from healing if we act on that desire. And so the key here is that even if we don't feel motivated to do something, we should do it anyway. Often we think that feeling will lead us to action, will lead us to change. But the truth is that especially when we're struggling with something like depression, we have to act even when we don't feel like it. We have to act first, and then the motivation will come once we see the reward. I have clients, and it's really hard sometimes because they're so depressed, or they're in this place or this cycle where they are so frustrated with their lives and with these constant negative feelings that they have, but they can't or won't make the behavioral changes required to feel better. And the truth is that a lot of the time, especially when we're in a bad place, we have to do things that we don't want to do so that eventually we can feel better. We know Maslow's hierarchy of needs, that eating good food, getting enough sleep, drinking enough water, exercising, all of these things don't just contribute to a healthy body, they also contribute to a healthy mind. But when we're depressed, we start to often stop doing these things, and we start to isolate ourselves from others, which is just as dangerous. And we fade into this place that continues to feed our pain instead of taking inspired action to do something different, or just taking action. It doesn't even have to be inspired, and most of the time it probably isn't. So if you're in a place where you start to notice that the behaviors that you're engaging in are feeding your emptiness, are feeding your sadness, I challenge you today to pick one thing, one small thing that you can do that you know is healthy for you, even if you don't feel like it. Maybe it's eat a bell pepper. Maybe it's go to the gym. Maybe it's call a friend. It doesn't have to be huge, but do one thing. And if you are feeling like that's really hard and you find yourself in a place where you are continuing to feed this emptiness in you, comment below and tag at HeartSupport. we'll reply with encouragement and support for you. We want to know. We want to help you. Okay, forged inside the flames. It's so hard because it's kind of like one of those things that you don't want to hear, but it's true. You know, like those tweets that are like, they really need to invent something other than time to heal all wounds. And when you're in a place of pain, it can be really hard to see this. But as a therapist, I can promise you that when we are faced with pain, when we are faced with fire, it is the biggest, I have no qualms saying that, the biggest opportunity for transformation. I almost get excited, not in like in a mean way, but in a way of, I see the potential of fire. I see the potential of struggle. So when my clients come in and they're like, this really big thing happened to me and it really hurts, I'm like, all right, how are we going to use this? Of course, there's a time to grieve. There's a time to process. There's a time to mourn. There's a time to just allow yourself to feel the negative emotions. But if you will allow it, and if you will believe it, even when it's hard to believe, the fire is what forges us. And one thing about fire and about its forging, I have fire, just the words fire, tattooed on my arm in my dad's handwriting, because there's a song I love and it goes, there's another in the fire. And my dad is someone who is always there for me personally in my life. And what I found about fire, what I found about hard times, is when we're going through them, they will forge us, they will shape us, they will change us. But we can make the process easier. We can ensure that the forging transforms us for good and doesn't make us bitter. And we can maybe even not hate it so much and speed the process up if we invite someone into the fire with us. Not take them down with us, but invite someone in for support. Community is vital for healing. Kind of like the last point, isolation is not safe, right? It's not. When we are disconnected from people, that keeps us stuck in negative thought patterns, that keeps us feeling lonely, that keeps us believing things about ourselves that are not true. And so when we invite community into the fire with us, we invite people to check us and our perspective, we can increase the speed at which the fire forges us. And it doesn't have to feel so painful because we have support with us. So if you are going through something right now, if you feel like you're in the middle of the fire, my encouragement to you is to find community. And you're at the perfect place because we are a community. We're a community who wants to help you. So if you need help right now, all you have to do is comment below what you're struggling with and tag out HeartSupport, and we will encourage you because we want to. And I want everybody to comment, but I don't want you to stop there. I want you to reach out to a friend, to go to a community group, to join a group, to ask a family member for support if that's a safe place, to invite people who are safe and supportive of you into the fire with you so that they can help you. Because the fire will forge you, but you can mold, you can be like a glass blower and mold the forging. And it's so much easier to do that if you have someone to help, whether it's a friend or a therapist or a family member. Okay, you guys, I love this song, False Divinity, Texas in July. Let's go. Comment below with anything you're struggling with and tag out HeartSupport. We want to encourage you. And your comments help us. We want to learn about you and grow our community. So share, and I'll see you there in the comment section. I hope you guys have a great day and you are listening to the best new metal.